edition. So I'm going to go through a few things that you can do because I want to give you hope. If you're young and you're hearing all this bad news about I'll never be able to own a home, I want to give you some hope today and help you realize that there are so many options for getting ahead in this world. And this is how I did it. I started with a home that needed a lot of work. And when I would get off my day job, I would work on my home. I go back and I think about those early days. And I'm really proud looking back of the things that I did to get where I am today. So I want you to know that it can still be done. Today is September 26th, 2024. And it can still be done. Let me verify the date. Yes, September 26th. For those of you that don't know, I can see perfectly fine. But reading close up, I use readers because I can see much better when I use them. But at this age, that's what happens. So let's get into the home tour so we have more time for the whiteboard. You ready? Let's go. This is the home. This is in a nice little kind of older person's neighborhood, but these are all like brick ranch homes that were built in the 60s and 70s. This particular home was a one-owner home. The lady that built the home in the 60s lived there until she died, and I am representing the two daughters that now own the home. I have a little trouble getting in this back gate, so it takes me a little second to get through here, but I get through. I have to end up crawling through the gate under this rope they had, but it has a very large backyard. And again, if you look at the home, it's all brick. So structurally speaking, this home is in very good shape. The floors are all straight. The yard is nice. They're building a brand new housing development behind this house, so it's going to have nicer homes behind it. I would probably plant some evergreens, on the back of this so that you had some privacy. But looking up at that roof, the roof doesn't leak, but it's getting close to being in need of replacement. And I would cut down those little shrubs and stuff. There's things that you can do that are free to make this house look a lot better. That's looking at the neighbor's house. It's kind of a similar home. It's just red brick instead of tan brick. Again, I'm struggling to get out of this gate. But on the front of this home, we cleaned it up a lot. We put the gravel, the rock beds in the shrubbery, and we trimmed the shrubs up. So we did a little bit of work to the home to get it ready to sell, so that it at least presented a little better. But because these old ladies that now own the home, they just want to get rid of it. They're not trying to maximize their return on this home, so they just want to sell it in its condition that it's in. Just giving you a kind of quick look at the neighborhood, but again, this is a fairly decent neighborhood as far as people take care of their homes. So this is just walking through the front door, and there is the 1970s green carpet. But this old lady, took care of her stuff, so it wasn't horrible. But it's just not very modern looking, of course. Structurally, she fixed things when it broke, but it's a time capsule. All the appliances are old, the cabinets are old, countertop is old. I like that little built-in in the corner. That's kind of cool. It does have an attached two-car garage, and this was the thing back in the day. It was pretty common to put the washer and dryer in the garage. This home comes with that chest freezer that still works. The furnace is fairly new. Water heater is up to date. There is the washer. This old lady did not use a dryer. She hung her clothes up to dry, which is what a lot of old people did. It has a nice sliding door, little patio off the back door. as you can see me. So this is a bathroom here. Again, old person styling. The wood doors are out of fashion, but you know, they're in great shape. But most people will just paint these white. Likely someone will buy this and paint all the doors white, paint all the trim white, paint the closet doors white, remove all the carpet. And this is bedroom number 2. Look at those pink curtains. Yeah. And then this is the primary bedroom, the master bedroom. Doesn't have a walk-in closet, but has a fairly good-sized wall closet. And then a bathroom connected to this. Now this bathroom and the other bathroom share the actual bath. So it's basically 2 half baths that share the bath. But it's kind of a good idea because it kind of makes it like 2 full baths, which is interesting. I've never seen a home do that before. This is just a little storage closet. So that's it. So this is obviously much shorter than the big homes that I've been showing you. So that's why we have time to do the whiteboard. So let's check it out. Okay, so let's go through a little example. So this house will be for sale tomorrow on the internet. For $130,000. Now, I am going to go through what I would do to the house if it was me. I would put a roof on it for $7,000. That would be the first thing that I did. I would rip all the carpet out and I would put vinyl plank flooring in. Roughly the cost is about $4,000 to do this whole house, and that is paying somebody to do it. If you wanted to watch YouTube videos and just do it yourself, you could do it for half of that. But I'm going to include just paying contractors to do this. You can paint the entire house for $1,500 on the inside. The outside is brick, so there's no need to paint the outside. And the windows are in great shape, so you don't need that. The furnace is in great shape. The air conditioner is probably about 10 years old. Eventually, you may want to do a new furnace and AC, but right now it's not necessary. And then I would spend $2,000 for brand new appliances. I would do stainless steel. That includes washer and dryer. So stove, refrigerator, microwave, dishwasher, and washer and dryer. You can get a set for $2,000 for all of that. $2,000 for countertops. I would do a quartz countertop. You could do granite for a little bit less, but because this kitchen is small, you can do counters for $2,000. Now they're probably going to be about $1,500, but I'm counting $500 in there to paint the cabinets. So I have paint for the house, for the walls. This $2,000 for counters includes painting the cabinets because the cabinets are solid wood. They're in good shape. They work. Now, this is just basic repairs. This would totally transform this house. So for $146,500, you would have a pretty nice home, updated, most everything new, nothing to worry about. Pretty nice. Now, the bathrooms are still kind of outdated, but by painting the woodwork white and painting the walls a different color, taking off those nasty curtains, the old-fashioned curtains, and you could just do blinds. Now, like, putting blinds in the house is probably, if you just did basic blinds, you could probably do, they're probably like $30, $40 a window. There's probably 10 windows that need to be done, so you're probably looking 300. I'm not going to count like the ancillary things, the little things, the decorative things, but this house would be transformed. So 146.5, that's the pricing I'm going to use. Now, actually, yeah, I probably should use the 146.5 because I want you to see what having a nice home would cost. But keep in mind, when we figure payments up, we're going to figure payments up $6 per thousand. So by counting in the improvements, I'm probably adding. Let's see, I'm probably adding 660. I'm probably adding about $100 a month to the payment with the repairs. So let's go through this. So we're at a 146.5 now with this house being nice. What is 3.5% of 146? Let me do the math here. 146, 500 times 3.5% is 51.27. 51.27 would be the minimum down payment you would need to buy this house. Now, besides coming up with the down payment, you also have to come up with closing costs, and closing costs are probably going to be somewhere around $3,000 to $4,000. So I'm going to use $3,500. So if you could come up with $8,627, you could buy this house. Now, what would your payment be? Remember, of the $8,600, $5,100 was the down payment. Roughly 51. So that is 141.4. That is the loan amount we would need to finance. When we estimate payments, now I'm not going to be to the penny, but I'm going to be pretty darn close. A rough estimate for figuring up what your payment will be when you're buying a house is $6 for every $1,000 you finance. So we have 141,000 times $6. $6 per 100, that equals $846 a month. Now, when we calculate $6 per thousand, we are calculating in the payment, the insurance you will need to insure it, and the property taxes to pay property taxes, because when you pay your mortgage payment, it's in that $846. When you finance the home, the bank makes they make you pay your property taxes and insurance in the payment. That way the bank can ensure that that is always paid, because they never want those to be late, because if those are late, the government can take the house, not on the insurance, but on the taxes if the taxes aren't they need to protect their own asset. So in essence, by the bank looking out for themselves, they are also protecting you because you want the home to be insured. You don't want to spend all this money, then the house catches on fire and you don't have anything, right? So that's important. So $846 is what this house would cost you per month. Now, who can afford that house? The $846 a month. Who can afford that? The maximum debt to income ratio that the banks allow is 43%. So anybody, the $800 is 43% of your monthly income. You can afford this house. So here's how we'll figure that up. I'm going to round this up to $2,000. If you make $2,000 per month and you don't have any other bills, 2,000 times 43%. 2,000 times 43% is $860. So what the banks say is if you're making $2,000 a month and you don't have any other bills, no car payments, no credit card debt, no other payments, you can afford an $860 house. So technically, all you need to make is $24,000 a year to afford this house. Okay? I would have to guess that everybody here is making $24,000 a year. So this is, again, why I'm telling you that the information that you're seeing online where people are saying you can't afford a house, it's a lie. Now, I understand if you're living in LA, or you're living in Vancouver, or you're living in Toronto, or you're living in New York, or you're living in Chicago. No, you're not going to find a $130,000 house that's livable. Keep in mind, we rounded this one up to $146 because we wanted some improvements done to the house. So now here's another. Let's do this a different way. Let's say that you've made some mistakes in your past and you've got a big car payment and your car payment's $700. Now, the bank would only allow a $160 payment if you're only making $2,000 a month. But again, $24,000 a year is not realistic. People working at McDonald's make $24,000 a year. So if you have a $700 car payment, or let's say you have a $500 car payment and you have $200 worth of credit card bills every month, it's $700 of additional debt. So we would need to have 1560 be 80% or be 43%. So we would need to make about $3,600 per month. $3,600 per month. Would be $1,548 minus the $846 house payment. That would allow you an additional $702 worth of ancillary debt to be able to still afford $146 if you want the house fixed up before you move in it. $780 if you just want to buy it for $130 and fix it up as you go. Move in it the way it is and maybe do one room at a time, you know. Keep in mind, if I bought that house today, which I thought about buying it just to rent it out, I would charge $1,200 for it. Probably $1,200 is what I could get for that house if I did a few things to fix it up. So you would pay $1,200 to rent it. So even if you fixed up $1,200 to rent it, $846 to buy it, the difference is $350 a month. Now, do you want to give that money to a landlord or do you want that money in your pocket? Right? So again, there's so many gurus like Grant Cardone and Andrew Tate that say don't buy a house. Well, they're just making landlords rich. That's what's happening. So I rent homes and I'm telling people buy instead. Yes, I sell homes too, but I'm never going to sell you a home, right? I don't have any vested interest in lying to you. I tell you guys the truth. That's what I want you to understand, that I am giving you the best advice, free. I don't have anything to gain here. Yeah, you could subscribe, but likely you're already subscribed here. You could hit the like button for me, that'd be nice, but I'm not begging you for it. I'm not doing this so you hit the like button. I'm doing this because I care about my fellow humans. I want people to hear the truth. There's so much negativity and so many lies out there in the world that I want to do my part to help humanity understand. Don't give up on life. There are great opportunities out there still to this day to get yourself in a much better place. Now, here's the other thing you can do. $130,000 to buy it as it is. $16,500 in repairs are needed to make it something really nice. Now, some of you may be watching and saying, you can't make it nice for $16,500. Let me tell you, yes, I can. And let me tell you this, for my clients, if they don't know people, I do it. I line up the contractors for them. I get all the work done. I know how to get the work done for a good price. And all the contractors I hire, they're still making money too, and they are happy. So it can happen. You just have to trust me. $146,500. Now you have bought the house for $130,000. You have spent $16,500 on it. Now you have $146,500 in it. Now guess what? Now what is the house worth? $189,900. Now you would have some expenses for selling that. You would have probably $15,000 in expenses in selling it. So for $174,900 minus $146,900, or $174,900 minus $146,500, that's $28,000. that. I offered my clients, do you want to do this? And we could turn around and get a lot more money. Nope, we don't want to mess with it. We just want it to go away. Okay, which I understand. For them, they are going to get 130. Actually, they're going to have about $10,000 in expenses, so they are going to only walk away with about 120. But that's what they want to do. They're old. They don't care about the money. They just want it to go away. They don't want to wait 3 or 4 months to do it. They just want to let it go. Their mother died, and they just want to just stop the process. This is their quickest way to just be over it. And so that's the decision they have made. But there's so many options when it comes to making money. So if you can imagine doing this, you could do, if you did that, let's say you have a regular job, but you wanted to flip homes on the side. Deals like this are easy to find. Now, again, it's geographically contingent on where you live. I understand if you're in one of these high-priced areas, London, you're not going to do this. It's not going to be possible. But knowing that areas like this exist, you can easily relocate to where the cost of living is much less. And you can do this even if it's just say, look, I'm going to move to Indiana for 5 years. I can get a job. Everything is less here. Rent is less. Houses are less. Cars cost less. Gas costs less. Groceries cost less. Everything is less here. Now, what's the downfall? Yeah, we have winter. It gets cold in the winter. But it's peaceful. There's nice people like ASMR Reality here. It's a good place to live. And let's say you just wanted to do it for 5 years. Let's say you did 2 or 3 a year. 30 grand, 30 grand, 30 grand. That's 90 grand on the side on top of whatever money you're making at work. And doing 3 of these a year is not that hard. It takes 2 or 3 months to do it, to renovate a home. So you've still got plenty of time. You could do more than 3. But I'm just trying to be realistic for you and trying to maybe expand your horizons a little bit to say, okay, life is not that hard. Life is not that bad. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. Life is difficult, but it's not as difficult as we're being told it is. There are more opportunities than what we're being told, and I think that the reason that message is out there is because they like keeping us down. Broke people are easier to control, and I do believe that our government wants us all to be poor. I think it's better for them if we're poor, if we're out there being wage slaves and just doing mundane jobs and struggling to make a living, because then they can do little things to maybe supplement our money, let the government take care of us instead of us taking care of ourselves. And then we're reliant on the government. If we're more reliant, we will be more compliant. We will be easier to control. And that's why I think there's a vested interest in having this message of doom out there. But it's not doom. Things are great. Well, things are good. Things are still hard. This is still hard work. This is hard to do. Now, one last thing before I go. In my last 2 videos, I have contrasted 2 total opposite ends of the real estate spectrum. One today, $130,000 house. A couple days ago, I showed you a $2.5 million house. Now, I want to show you what is it like for me, for those of you that are considering a career in real estate. In this situation, I represent the seller, and I have charged the seller 3% to sell this house. $3,900 is what my brokerage will be paid to sell this. I get 94% of that commission. So I get $3,600 when I sell this house. Not a bad payday. If I sold the $2.5 million house, that commission is only 2%. Typically, the higher the price home, the lower the commission rate. I would make $47,000 if I made that, if I sold that home. So that is why realtors like to sell more expensive homes. The more expensive the price, the more money you get paid, even when the commission percentage drops. But I don't discriminate. These people are good clients of mine. They live in $1 million home. Their mom lived in this home. They called me and said, Derek, our mom died. Will you sell her house for us? What was I going to do? Tell them no. I don't really like selling the lower priced homes as much because I don't make as much, and it's really the same amount of work. I have to make a video. I have to get a photographer in there to take pictures. I have to sometimes get some contractors in there to fix a few things up for them if they don't want to mess with it. Now, my sellers paid the contractors, but I paid the photographer, so ultimately I'll clear somewhere around $3,500 when I sell that house. But $3,500, some people make that in 1 month. I make it in 1 day if I sell this house. So, it is a good career choice if you guys like it. And just know that even selling cheaper priced homes, you're still going to make good money. It's still good money. Alright, well, I hope you found this educational and enjoyable and hopefully relaxing as well. And I want to end this by saying I know I have been doing these are not been my normal style videos, but I promise you, for those of you that have been with me a long time, you know that I'm used to just talking about topics that are more about life and philosophical topics, sometimes controversial topics. I am not going to get away from that. I still want to do some of those. And so my next video, for some of you new people, I want you to know my next video is going to be a heart-to-heart video from me to you, because that's really who ASMR Reality is. That's why I started this channel, was to tell you things from my heart and the things that I feel about the world. And I know I did that tonight in a roundabout way with this, but I've got some things that I want to talk to you about that I hope that you'll find interesting. So, until then, I'll see you next time.